Oyetola sympathizes with Fulanis in Osun over killing of cows by lightning. Osun State Governor Mr. Gboyega Oyetola on Saturday sympathized with Fulani residents in Iba community of Ifelodun local government area of the state over the loss of their 19 cows to thunder lightning on Friday night. Speaking during a visit to the community, he commended the people of Iba for coexisting peacefully despite diverse tribal backgrounds. Represented by his special advisor on agriculture and food security, Abiodun Ajishefini, Oyetola said, "We are indeed sad about the unfortunate incident. Lightning is a natural phenomenon that we have no power or control over. The traders who suffered this loss are part of us, not strangers. They have lived here for decades, and I commend them for their exemplary contributions to peace in Iba community. I want to assure them of my support and indeed the government's support at a time like this." So guys, I don't know whether this is a coincidence or it just happened just like that, because this incident has been, this kind of a thing has been happening in Ondo State, like almost 2 or 3 times, precisely, let's say 2 times. It could be more than that, but a lot of people are attributing it to the disobedience of all these Fulani people always moving around with their cars, going to where they are not ought to go. Some people are just like, oh, it's a natural thing, it could happen to anybody and all of that. But the issue is that why is it that it's not really rampant, with all the, like, all these other livestock, like we people who really have a poultries here and there? Why is it that it's only these Fulani people and their cows that have been experiencing this this kind of a thing? And now it's happening in Osun State. And to me, if really they know, like the government said, somebody who represented the government, that they have been existing or they've been living peacefully with the host community, and they see it as a natural thing that nobody has a control over. They say 19 cows. If it is 19 cows, of course it is their business. But when has it become, when the government official will not be going to their places and be, consoling them for 19 cows? Of course, we know that even some poultry farmers are always, you know, having such casualties, but maybe due to, or maybe due to any form of changes in their poultry or in the area. I've never seen maybe a government official going there sympathizing with them, with their cows. Of course, because of the way at which the government, even at the center, has been carrying these people along, the way they have been, petting them, and we all know what has been happening. But that doesn't take the fact that they should not be sympathized with. But in my opinion, from government angle, it's something that is really worrisome. Well, let them accept that a sympathy. But one thing is that these guys should do the needful and always keep and abide and obey the law of the land most times, so that such things will be well avoided, because if they are going to places where they are not supposed to go. But one thing again, if really it is thunder lightning or thunderbolt or whichever case it may be, why is it that it's only cows that are always affected? They are not affected by people over there and people around the place. Why is it that cows recently? I just want to, you can correct me if it is not so. It's really rampant now, that this issue of a thunderbolt, killing all these cows. Like I said, it happened in Osun State, it happened in Ondo State. I think somewhere again in Ogun State it happened, but it was not really reported all that. Like what is happening in Osun again, they really need to take they need to be careful. These Fulanis, they really need to be careful, and the way they go about things, and start bragging here and there. I think they should do more to that. If really it's just happening, it's a coincidence, or it's just just happened just like that. Of course, we know that when a thunder strikes, it could really affect some things. But this cow of a thing, what happens to other animals that, this thunderbolt has not really been affecting them? What could have been happening? What could have been happening? So the best thing is for them to continue to stay peaceful with their host communities, because we know what has been happening in other communities, in other region, the way at manner which they have been carrying themselves. They really need to do more. They really need to show that, peace they always proclaim, whereby even in reality it's something else that we do hear from them, or from their actions and from their, their leaders who always incites, saying some kind of derogatory words, kind of threats, to the host community. The last time we had them, from Yeti Allah saying, oh, the governors, they must give them land. They must give them land. If they don't give them land, if they don't accept that ruga, that there will be no peace. You can imagine when people started making such statements, you just be wondering that, what do these people, what do they really mean? What do they really think of themselves? Like we always say, nobody has a monopoly to anything. If you think you are powerful, you have a edge over some people, don't be surprised that some other people will be, will outsmart you when it comes to that. So that's why a lot of people don't really show sympathy or whatever to them, because most of the time, most of the havocs they themselves they have caused, something that people, when such things really happen to them, people don't really want to even sympathize with them. Of course, a lot of people who are in their businesses in one way or the other, they have been experiencing casualties and will be experiencing losses here and there. So when it comes to this Fulani people, it's always taken overboard. Just like I said, the government had to go, represent somebody representing the governor, paying condolences to them, sympathizing with them. That is the kind of impression they give to them, that these guys are really special. Of course, I'm not saying maybe their cows being killed by thunderbolts, it's not something that one need to look into it, because it's really a loss. But because of their attitude, because of the way they have been doing things, and that was why I asked the other time, that could it be a coincidence, or it's just a natural thing that it just happened randomly? Because it's been rampant now. These issues, it's been rampant. Even in the north, we are hearing a lot of diseases, you know, those some of the cows have been affected by diseases here and there, and they've cried out that the government should just come and help them, so that it will not, affect other cows around, so that it will not escalate. And you know that when a cow begin to have some kind of disease, it is human being that consume them. So it's that kind of a thing will not be good for the consumption of the masses. So a lot of things happening to them these days, it's really cause for worries, for somebody to like, oh, what could really be happening? What could really be happening if other animals are not being affected by thunderbolts? Then you not be surprised that could there be something? Because people were really like, oh, it's really a good thing. What could really be happening? Because people could not really fight for themselves. Maybe the gods of the land are really angry with them, or whatever. So a lot of insinuations, misreactions here and there. That could it be that it was as a result of the gods of the land, that are really affecting, or they are causing all this mayhem to the cows of these people, because since they say, oh, they are going to take some things, or they're going to take land forcefully, from their host communities and from their people, to be saying, oh, you just have to give us land, telling the governor, threatening them, and the governor in return saying that there is no amount of threat that will make us release our land to you. It's not going to happen. That no matter how you threaten us, we are not going to give out our land. And people have said, no, we are not going to go in the line of that ruga of a thing. If you cannot get land and get your cows, in a designated place, you just have to move elsewhere. We know the law happening, or the law that has been enforced in Benue State and also in Oyo State, that no cow should be moving here and there. So they really need to be careful and take precaution of what is happening around them. You cannot just come to people's land and be bragging and be threatening them and be saying, oh, it is your right to do this, that you are not going to obey the law of the land. If you continue with that, you see that the gods of the land, they might want to answer in one way or the other. I'm just saying it might just be a coincidence anyway, or it could be a random something, but they really need to be careful with their attitude, with their statements here and there. So guys, that is just my opinion concerning what happened. Leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.